So you'll notice that everything around me is black and white, but I'm in living color. I'm going to equate that to gardening. Gardening is not black and white. Unfortunately, many of the gardeners on YouTube, even those who call themselves pros, see it as black and white. Why? I don't know. But I can guarantee you it is not. And I'll explain to you why I'm doing this video. It's not about gardening. It's about citrus trees, fruit trees. It's about growing things in containers. Let me explain it to you in possibly 3 minutes. So here it is. When it comes to containers, most people who grow fruit trees, citrus trees in containers think they should feed them only through the growing season. Truth be told, and unbeknownst to them, anytime you have fruit trees in a container, citrus trees in a container, you need to feed them on a monthly basis. Most of you agree with that, correct? What most of you don't know is that you're supposed to feed your trees 12 months out of the year, all the way through. You didn't know that, did you? Yeah. The difference is when it comes to fall and winter, you want to feed it half strength. Here's why you need to feed your trees throughout the entire year. Number one, they're not dormant. Your fruit trees are going to lose their leaves, but the focus is going to be on the root of the plant during the dormant season. Your citrus trees is going to keep its leaves, but the focus is going to be on your fruit development during the winter months. How do you get your fruits to develop? From feeding them. But because your trees are in containers, here's the difference. The difference is that every time you water, the nutrients are going to leach through the soil mass out of the draining holes every time. Matter of fact, organic fertilizers are known to last longer because they're slow release. But if you got it in containers, they're not going to last any longer than any liquid fertilizer. Give and take a week or two extra, but you got to also remember something. When you're growing things in containers, you could simply use a drip line and that'll put water into a container. But when it comes to your trees, you also need to take a watering wand and saturate the entire soil structure. That's important because you want to relieve your containers of salt. Salt is bad for your trees and your roots. You don't believe me? Keep it up. But here's another thing. Getting rid of the salt requires you to saturate the soil mass, thus also leaching vital nutrients away from the container, the tree's roots. So yeah, you should be fertilizing your trees 12 months out of the year. You know that now, right? So for those of you who are fertilizing your trees and when August get here, which is still summer, and you're saying I'm going to fertilize my trees for the last year, the last time of the year, where did you get that information from? You won't even find that on Google. No research will tell you that information. In fact, if you go to most local extensions, they'll tell you when you're growing citrus trees in the ground, the last time you're going to fertilize that tree, it's going to be October, November. Well, why? Well, you got to consider our zone. The zone we live in, California, is a mild climate, meaning that we're going to have warm weather all the way up until November. So therefore, you haven't even hit the first frost yet. Wait to fertilize your trees if you're growing them in the ground. In fact, if you're growing them in the ground, make sure you're fertilizing them at least 3 to 4 applications a year. But in containers, your application is going to be on a monthly basis. When you're growing in containers, you don't use full strength. You use half strength. So if you're using an organic fertilizer, use half strength. When you're using a liquid fertilizer such as fish emulsion, seaweed kelp, with some molasses in there, then you can go ahead and either spray the leaves, which is feeding them through the foliage, or you can go ahead and just soil drench it, and whatnot. Other than that, that's not going to affect the overall feeding, because the granule fertilizer or the slow release organic fertilizer is going to take time breaking down. So by that time, you need to keep feeding that tree, and that's where the liquid fertilizer come in. But every month, you need to be doing a feeding to this tree. If you're going to liquid feed your trees only, you need to be doing it on a weekly basis. But if you're going to do a combination of the two, you need to use a granule once a month or once every 6 weeks, because a month is only 4 weeks. So it's 4 to 6 weeks. That's going to determine on the actual handler, you. Are you going out there with a watering wand every day watering your trees? If you're doing that, then you need to feed your trees every 4 weeks, because you're watering your trees and you're drenching them constantly. But if you're using a drip irrigation, which doesn't drench the soil as it would if you were using a watering wand, then you can hold off and feed them every 6 weeks. But nevertheless, if you're growing them in containers, you need to be doing it on a monthly basis, 12 months out of the year, 365 days you get in a year, right? How many weekends do you get in a year? Is it 52, roughly? What's 4 times 12? 0? That's 60 right there. But we know that we don't get 4 full weekends out of every month. Or do we? I don't know. I can be off on that. But you get my drift. Feed them every month. Oh, by the way, where did I get that information from? I'll tell you. Trial and error. Experimentation. As a master gardener, I'm qualified to give you that information so you don't make mistakes. Why do you think that during the winter and fall and the early spring, most people are contacting me and saying my tree leaves are so yellow and they're falling off? You haven't fed it for the whole 3 to 4 months. What did you think was going to happen? Trees need to eat too. When they're grown in the ground, you don't have to worry about that feeding every month, because they're going to have the nutrients that you're going to give them. And most of the time, if your ground is fertile, they're going to have plenty of nutrients from the leaves and the fruit that fall. How many of you actually use the leaves that fall from your fruit trees and your citrus trees as mulch to yours? That's organic matter. Fertilizer alone is not enough to get your trees to be healthy. You know that, right? You need organic matter. You need microbial environment to be active. And the only way they're going to be active, you got to give it a stimuli. You guys know what a stimuli means If you don't, just keep watching me. Oh, my real qualifications is UC Davis Agricultural Department. The extension. I told you, all you got to do is research. But then most people don't listen to me. They don't care what I say. So what do? We just going to go and do our own thing. How do you create something that's already been created? How do you redesign something that's already been designed? Had you folks not seen my citrus trees? Well, it's why they're in black and white. Because I didn't want you to focus on the citrus tree. I wanted you to focus on moi. Which citrus tree is this? Which one is this? You can't tell the difference in black and white. I told you. Gardeners need to stop looking at gardening as black and white. It's just not so. Long live Pops from Friday. Every time I come in the garden, you in the garden, eating up all the damn cherries, all the tomatoes, all the peaches, all the watermelon. I like watermelon too.